Well, hey there, guys. It is week 2 of the Power Performance Index, and as you would expect, with being week 2, boy, did we have some. We had some movers, we had some shakers, we had some highs, and we had some lows. Let's. What do you say we get into this? Because yeah, boy, this starting out number 32. Kind of an unfamiliar spot for these guys. And honestly, this could have gone, I could have done this either way. This could have been either team. And I just think this, yeah. Number 32 this week. We're going Calgary. We're putting the Flames at 32. Calgary, I mean, they're not looking good. They're 1-5 on the year. They've lost 5 in a row. They went 0-3 on the week. They gotta find a way to turn this around. I don't think a lot of people were expecting a whole ton out of Calgary, but I don't think anybody was expecting a 1-5 start out the gate and losing 5 in a row. Number 31. Unfortunately, this is kind of a familiar spot for these guys, and that, of course, is San Jose. So the Sharks, a lot like Calgary, they went 0-3 on the week. They still now. Calgary has at least won a game. San Jose is not, but San Jose's lost 5 in a row, but they've at least sprinkled a couple of overtime losses in there. At least they got a couple of OTLs in there. A couple of overtime loss points, while Calgary's got none. But yeah, so 32 and 31, yeah, Calgary and San Jose. Number 30. Now, I can't expect. I gotta think they're gonna hit a stride at some point. But right now, number 30, they've lost 3 in a row. They went 1-1-2 on the week, where they're 1-3-2 overall, and they dropped a spot from last week. Tampa at 30. I mean, honestly, this is the Tampa Bay Lightning we're talking about here. 30? Tampa? Yeah, that's very very odd. Very odd indeed. Gotta think they gotta turn that around at some point. I mean, again, it's early. Number 29. Moving up. Now, these guys moved up 3 spots. They had a decent week. Actually had a decent week, but they go there. They went 2-0-1 on the week. So not horrible. And it bumped them out of the cellar. They were 32 last week. They're 29 this week. Chicago. So the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks at 29. The Blackhawks have moved up. That's very nice. It's very good to see. Can they keep that going? I don't know. We will have to see. Number 28. Now this team, I did a video talking about these guys because I was thinking, well, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But you know what? Since doing a video on these guys, they've won 2 in a row. Buffalo. I mean, what's happening here? Buffalo. Come on, Sabres. Let's go. I felt pretty good about that. They started 0-3. It's like, here's the same old Sabres. I even did the video. Go check out that video. Titled "Oh, the Buffalo Sabres." And then what have they done since I made that video? They've won 2 in a row. So they've actually moved up. They were 32. They were 32 at one point earlier in the week. They've moved up to 29 or 28. Let's see if they can continue that rise. Let's see if they can keep stringing some wins together. Like I said, I'd love to see the Sabres make a run here. Maybe they can. Who knows? Number 27. Now, they went 1-3 on the week. They're 2-4 overall. They dropped 5 spots from last week, and they just lost their captain for at least a month, maybe up to 8 weeks, and that's Ottawa. So the Senators are 27, and again, they just lost their captain. He's having to have wrist surgery, and so yeah, he's that's a big loss for the Sens, and we'll see what they can do. Again, it's early in the season, but yeah, I mean that's a big loss to lose your captain. But we'll see what they do. But I mean, and they finally came out. I mean, they finally wore those gorgeous thirds, and yeah, they ended up losing the first game they played with them. Hopefully, that doesn't become a trend with those. Number 26. And these guys dropped 3 spots. They went 1-2 on the week. They're 2-3 on the year. And again, we'll see what happens. I think these guys could be, if they can string some stuff together, they could be a team to watch. Columbus. So we got the Blue Jackets at 26. And again, they're not bad. They're just, I mean, they're kind of average right now. But I'm expecting, I think things will improve. At least I hope. And and again, it's only the second week of the season. A lot of room for improvement here. Number 25. Speaking of room for improvement, these guys actually moved up 5 spots from the week prior. They were 2-1 on the week. They're 2-3 on the year. And they've got a pretty good young rookie who's been looking pretty good here in the first few games. The New York Islanders. So Matthew Schaefer has been looking really good. Really good. And he's the start right now that he's having, I would think is kind of making him potentially the front runner right now for the Calder Trophy. Can he keep that up? We will find out. But I think as he goes, so go the New York Islanders. Number 24. I got something stuck in my eye. I don't know what that is. But if you wonder why I keep rubbing my eye, I got something. I don't know what the heck I got there. Just all of a sudden my eyes start bugging. Go figure. Number 24. Now, they signed their main guy to a big extension, which was needed. Signed him to the richest contract in NHL history. And they're not exactly off to a hot start. Number 24, Minnesota. So the Wild are not off to a great start right now. They're 1-2-1. They're 1-2-1 on the week, 2-3-1 total. They lost in overtime today, and yeah, they're not doing the greatest right now. I mean, you add that overtime loss, that's 3 losses in a row for them. Yeah, not a great start for the Minnesota Wild. Number 23 is the team that beat Minnesota today. Number 23 is Philly. They moved up. They ended up moving up 4 spots. I mean, they went 2-1 on the week. They're 2-1 so far on the young season. Rick Tocchet has got those boys playing pretty decently right now, and we'll see if it continues to translate throughout the season. Number 22. I'm kind of surprised these guys are where they are. I think a lot was expected out of these guys. But they went They went 0-1-2 this week. They're 1-3-2 in the last 10 on this young season. And yeah, they lost in overtime today, but they've lost 4 in a row in total, and that is the LA Kings. So the Kings are at 22, and yeah, I don't think a lot of people expected that. I didn't exactly expect that, but there they are. And they got to find a way to turn that around. I hope they can find a way to turn it around, because they definitely need to. They can't let this young season get away from them. At least not this early. Number 21. They ended up dropping 7 spots. They dropped 7 spots. They were 1-2-1 on the week. They're 3-3-1 on the young season. Again, I think a lot more was expected of these guys. They did win today, but again, I think a lot more is expected of the New York Rangers. So the Rangers are 21. Like I said, it dropped. They ended up falling 7 spots. So we'll see what they can do to turn that around. But I mean, they got a big win today, which was good. But again, we'll see what they can continue to do here. Number 20, moving up 5 from last week. They were 2-1 on the week. They're 3-2. They got a big win. Got a big win today, and yeah, I mean they're sitting at number 20. I think the sky's the limit potentially for the St. Louis Blues. So the Blues are at number 20, and yeah, I think there's a lot to look forward to with St. Louis. They've got a good young core, and I think they could be a team to really have to pay attention to. And again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, they ended up moving up 5 spots. Good for St. Louis. Number 19. Now this is a team that I know there are some people that I think expect a lot from this team this year. Some that aren't expecting a whole lot. They end up dropping 3 spots, even though they did go 2-1 on the week. And they're also 3-2 on this young season. And that is Utah. So the Mammoth are 19. And I think the Utah Mammoth are, again, it's a young season. We'll see if they can, we'll see what they can put together here. And a lot of people are picking them to potentially be a playoff team this year. I would not mind seeing it. We will see if that happens. Number 18, dropping 5 from the week prior. 1-2-1 on the week. 2-2-2 on the season. They have lost 3 in a row, hence the reason why they've dropped 5 spots, and that is Nashville. Now again, Nashville, considering where they were at last year, I mean, it's not. I mean, 2-2-2. I mean, it's not great. It's not great, but they could be down in here, and they're not. So I think there's some building blocks they can build on here, and hopefully they can not not continue on this losing trend, because yeah, they have lost 3 in a row. Number 17. Now these guys, they were up, they were down, and when it all came down to it, they went 1-1 on the week. They end up staying in the same spot at number 17. They did lose their last game, Anaheim. So Anaheim stays at number 17 for a second week in a row. And again, they were up, they were down, and they just they just ended up in the same spot. And I think Anaheim, there's a lot to potentially look forward to with this team. They're a young team, but they're in these games. They definitely have their moments. And could Anaheim be a team that shocks some people? Oh yeah. Number 16. Now this was definitely one of this, I believe, was the biggest drop. Yeah, this was the biggest drop of the week. There were a couple of big drops, but these guys dropped big time. They went 0-3 on the week, losing 3 in a row. They fell 14 spots from last week, from number 2 to 16. The Boston Bruins. Good Lord. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, who saw that coming? I'm like, hey, this is good. You know, a good little start. Let's see what they can. Let's see what they can do. Can they keep it going? Yeah, nope. Dropping 14. That is crazy. There is another team here that dropped double digits also. You haven't seen them yet, but that's because they were very high up also, as Boston was. And they haven't seen them yet, but you will see them probably. You will see them shortly. Number 15, dropping 5 from the week prior. They went 2-1 on the week. Good week. They've won 2 in a row. But I think, last week they might have been, they might have been rated a little higher than they probably should have. Hence the reason why they dropped. And they've dropped 5 spots, and that's Vancouver. So the Canucks are at 15 this week. I think that's probably a good spot for them this week. And, I said they got a little bit of a win streak going. And, we'll see if they can keep it going. If they can keep it going, they should be back up into this area potentially, by the end of next week. We shall see. Number 14. These guys went up 1 spot. They went 2-1 on the week. They're 4-2 on the young season. They've won 2 straight. And I think a lot of people might be a little surprised by it. Pittsburgh. So the Penguins stay in this same general area. They were 15 last week. They're 14 this week. Good, it's good to see. Good to see for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll see if they can continue that trend in this very young season. Number 13. Now, they were low last week, hence the reason why they moved up 7 spots, because they actually looked halfway decent. But they had an overtime loss tonight that honestly, it didn't look that great. Didn't look that great, but again, you got to think this is a team that is going to turn it around at some point. And sitting number 13, we have the Maple Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs at 13. Like I said, they might have been a little low last week. I mean, they were number 20 last week. So, it's only, naturally, you're going to string some wins together. You're going to move up. And Toronto is one of those top echelon teams. And yeah. So, Toronto sitting at 13, not a bad spot for them, I don't think. At least as of right now. We'll see if they can maintain that, if they can move up, or if they can't maintain it. Who knows? We'll see. Number 12, the team that beat the Leafs tonight. Now, oddly enough, they do not have a regulation loss on the season. They are 3-0-2 on the year. They went 1-0-2 on the week. And they ended up dropping 6 spots because they were in the top part of the board last week. So yeah, they You get a couple overtime losses in there, even though they have not lost in regulation. They do end up dropping, but Seattle is, Seattle's a good team. Seattle's not looking too bad right now. I mean, like I said, they have not lost a game in regulation, and we'll see if they can continue that, because I think it would be really cool to see what Seattle can continue to do. Number 11. Oh boy. This was another one of those teams they dropped double digits. They dropped 10 spots. They started out 3-0. They looked fantastic. And ever since, they went 0-4 on the week. They're 3-4, and boy, missing their two big stars, you can definitely tell. Number 11, they were number 1 last week. The reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions, 2-time Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Now, the Panthers got to turn this around. They got to find a way to turn this around. Is it too early to panic in Florida right now? I think it's a little early yet. It's a little early to panic, but they can't let that they can't continue that. They got to find a way to get out of that slump that they're in. I mean, they started out 3-0, and now they're 3-4, and yeah, they're just. I mean, they lost to Buffalo tonight. I mean, Buffalo. They lost to the Sabres. It's like that's not exactly considered a good loss. So yeah, Florida's got to find a way to turn that around, because if they don't, they're going to find their way. They're going to find their way in the third row before you know it. Number 10, getting into the top 10, and these guys have been on a hot streak, big time. They end up moving up. They move up 11 spots. They moved up 11 spots. They went 3-0 on the week. They're 4-1 on the season. Winners of their last 4, and that is the New Jersey Devils. So the Devils are in the top 10. They're looking really good right now. And they're one of those teams that is expected to compete in the Metro Division, and they're looking fantastic right now. And again, if they can stay healthy, I think they could be a team to be reckoned with for sure. Number 9. This is a surprise. Kind of a cool surprise though. Sitting at number 9, they moved up 10 spots. They went 3-0 on the week. They are 4-1 on this young season, winners of 4 in a row, and leading their division. Detroit. Holy hockey town. So the Red Wings are number 9. Look at that. Isn't that something else? So yeah, it's good to see Detroit looking good. The Yzer plan, could this finally pay off this season for the Yzer plan? It's good to see the Red Wings off to such a good start. Can they maintain it though? That's the thing. We'll see over the next few weeks. Can they maintain that? Can they maintain that spot? Can they maybe get into the top row? We shall see. Speaking of the top row, getting into the top row at number 8. Now, I thought about honestly swapping number 9 and number 8, just because the way Detroit's playing pretty well. But these guys, they have their moments. But they're in the top row. But honestly, I could have very easily bumped them into that 9th spot, and that's Edmonton. So the Oilers. I have the Oilers at 8, and again, I could have very easily flip-flopped them and Detroit, because Detroit's playing fantastic. Edmonton, I mean, they went 1-2 on the week. They're 2-2-1 on the season. Again, though, this isn't, this is not based strictly on the standings. But yeah, the Oilers are at 8, and yeah, we'll see if they can maintain that. Can they maintain that spot in the top row next week? I don't know. We'll see. Number 7, dropping 4 spots from last week. They went 1-2 on the week. They're 3-2 on the young season. And again, kind of surprised that these guys have dropped as they have. But sitting at number 7, we got the Dallas Stars. So the Stars are number 7. And again, I think the Dallas Stars are a team that is going to, again, be a cup contender. Will they make it 4 years in a row in the Western Conference Final? I don't know. But the Dallas Stars are a team to be reckoned with. They are going to be a team that is going to be very, hard to beat, I think, come playoff time. That's a long ways off. Right now, though, they're sitting at number 7. We'll see if they can maintain that, or if they fall off. We'll find out. Number 6, a team that I do think can maintain where they are at, and I think can definitely move up. They went 3-0 on the week, 4-0-2. They moved up 5 spots. They've won 3 in a row, and that is, of course, Vegas. So the Golden Knights are sitting at just outside the top 5, but the only reason they're sitting outside the top 5 is these teams that are ahead of them have looked really good. But Vegas is right there, and I do mean right there. And again, this is another case where I was looking at, could I have flip-flopped number 6 and number 5? Very easily. Because in number 5, they did lose tonight. They did move up 3 spots, but they were looking, before the loss tonight, they were looking pretty darn good. And yeah, they were ahead of Vegas beforehand. And yeah, I keep them ahead of Vegas just by a little bit, and that is Montreal. So the Habs, I think. Now, like I said, I could have very easily flip-flopped Vegas and Montreal, but where Montreal was last week compared to Vegas, Montreal was in the top row last week, and Vegas was not. And now they're both in the top row. And again, Montreal, they had a good week until they ended up losing that one game this week, which was tonight. And so, I mean, I didn't really penalize them all that much. I mean, they did lose to the Rangers, even though the Rangers are down here. I do expect more from the New York Rangers, though, but we'll see. But, 5 and 6, Vegas and Montreal, very easily I could have flip-flopped those. Number 4. Now, these guys moved up 3 spots also, and they have looked really good. They are 3-0 they went 3-0 on the week, 4-1 on the season, winners of 4 straight, and they have looked really, really good also. Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets at number 4. Very, very good run that they're on right now. Trying to show that all those weeks last year at number 1 weren't completely a fluke. We'll see if they can maintain that. But yeah, Winnipeg at number 4. They're on a good little run right now. Number 3. Also, they've gone 3-0 on the year too. They're 4-1. They also have won 4 in a row. And they end up, now again, Could you have flip-flopped this team in Winnipeg? Sure. But especially considering the start that these guys started on and the run that they're on now, sitting number 3, Washington. The Capitals are number 3, and they are looking they're looking fantastic too. And by the way, they debuted those new alternate jerseys. That new red Screaming Eagle jersey looks fantastic on the ice. I definitely look forward to being able to get one whenever Ben is able to get his stock in. That is one jersey that I believe I am penciled. I believe he put my name down for a size 60 in that one whenever they show up. I look forward to getting that one. But yeah, that new red Screaming Eagle jersey for Washington looks really nice. And the Capitals are on a good little run right now. They're on a good little heater. And yeah, they're sitting at number 3. Number 2. Now, these guys have not lost a regulation game yet. They went 3-0 on the week. They've won 3 in a row. They're up 3 spots. We keep waiting. We're seeing little teasers here and there. We keep waiting. And I'm using this one for this reason, because we are still waiting. They keep teasing us. Number 2, Colorado, or in this case, the Nordiques. We keep getting teased about this. They now have the nameplates on their locker rooms have the Nordique logo on it. When will they drop it? We are not sure. But this week, the Colorado Avalanche are number 2. And yes, I use the Quebec Nordiques logo because we are waiting for that jersey. We are waiting for that jersey to show up, because we know the minute it shows up and it goes live on the NHL site, that thing is going to be gone like that, because the NHL shop, for whatever reason, doesn't get a whole lot of quantity in. So, yeah, I would fully expect when those jerseys actually drop, I expect the 60s and 56s to be gone within 5 minutes. Because it's what they've been teasing it all. They've been teasing it for forever. And, we thought maybe tonight they would have revealed it. No. But I'm using that logo for that reason. We keep waiting for that jersey to drop. And Colorado, they're a definite cup contender for sure. But number one, 3-0 in the week. They are 5-0 on this young season. They are looking really good right now. And I guarantee my friend Aaron is probably really happy with the start. Number 1 is the Carolina Hurricanes. So the Canes are number 1. They definitely deserve to be number 1. They have gotten off to an amazing start. And like I said, I guarantee my friend Aaron is very, very happy. He is a huge Hurricanes fan down in North Carolina. And yeah, Carolina looking fantastic. Winners of 5 straight. And yeah, they ended up moving up 3 spots from the week prior. And yeah, number 1 this week is Carolina. Number 2 is the Colorado Avalanche, or as the magnet I'm using, the Quebec Nordiques. And then, of course, Washington 3, Winnipeg 4, Montreal 5. We'll see what teams are able to maintain their spots, what teams are not able to maintain their spots, who moves up next week, who moves down. Do we get some big market corrections like we saw this week? We'll see. But let me know what you guys think about week 2 of the Power Performance Index. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Where do you think some of these teams are in the right spots, some of them in the wrong spots? How off the rocker do you think I am? Let me know in the comments section. Hit that like button. Only takes a second. Algorithm definitely likes it. Hit that subscribe button too. By all means, please hit that subscribe button. Also, when you hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell that little notification bell that will notify you anytime future videos are uploaded. And by all means, share the videos. Share this video with everybody that you know. Any video from the channel you'd like to share, go ahead and share them all. I love being able to get my videos out to the masses. And yeah, week 2 of the Power Performance Index. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. I will see you guys later.